So in this video, we are going to learn how to create Omnisend subscriber from Webhook response. Let's say you're using some application which supports Webhook and you want that whenever you get a response from that Webhook URL from that application, you want to send the same details to Omnisend and create a subscriber over there. So let me tell you, with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can completely automate this process. All you have to do is just add the webhook URL given by Pabbly in that particular application. And then whenever you're going to get the webhook response, automatically with the same responses, we are going to send the details to Omnisend and create a subscriber over there with the same details. Now, if you want to learn how you can set up this complete automation all by yourself, for that, you just have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on my Omnisend account. Now I want that whenever I get some kind of data as a webhook response from any application on the internet, I want to send the same data to Omnisend and then I want to create a subscriber, a contact over there. So let's see, we are taking an example in this video of Pabbly Form Builder. Let's say I am getting some webhook response from Pabbly Form Builder of a new form submission, and with the same form responses, I want to basically create a subscriber in Omnisend. So using Pabbly Connect, we can basically automate this complete process. And here you can see that we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard too. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can set up your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. Now to automate this process, to automatically capture the webhook response from any application and send it to Omnisend to create a subscriber, we are going to create an automation workflow inside Pabbly Connect. For that, just click on this create workflow button and give this workflow a name. Let's say I'll name it as webhooks to Omnisend. You can basically give any other name as per your choice. Then just select the folder of the Pabbly Connect account in which you want to set up this automation and click on create. And as you click on create, here you can see the workflow will open in front of us. In this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's start with the trigger step. So here the idea is, here in our trigger step of Pabbly Connect workflow, we are going to select webhook over here. After selecting webhook Pabbly in trigger event, we are going to select catch webhook preferred. And then Pabbly Connect gave this webhook URL. Now what we have to do, we have to add this webhook URL on the application from which we are getting the data. So any application which is sending some data to a webhook URL can be used over here. You can basically add this webhook URL to that particular application and capture the response. In this video, we are taking an example of Pabbly Form Builder where we are going to add the webhook and capture the form responses. But you can add this webhook to any application. And after capturing the webhook responses, using this Pabbly Connect automation, the same responses will be automatically sent to Omnisend. And with the same responses, with the same details, we are going to create a subscriber, a contact over here. So let's see how it is done. First, we have to copy the webhook URL from Pabbly Connect and add this webhook URL in that application. And every application has a different method to add the webhook. So to add the webhook in Pabbly Form Builder, I'll just go to the integration section. And after coming here, just click on this add webhook button. Paste the webhook URL and click on save. So in this way, we have to just add the webhook URL. After adding the webhook URL in your Pabbly Connect workflow, you can see it is showing us waiting for webhook response. So this means Pabbly Connect is waiting to capture some response from the webhook URL to get some webhook data. So what I'm going to do, because I have added the webhook in Pabbly Form Builder form, we are going to make a form submission over here. This is the name of the person over here. The email address is this. And this is the mobile number. We are just going to enter a dummy mobile number over here. After entering the mobile number, we are going to basically enter the address. So let's say this is the address. City is Bhopal, state is Madhya Pradesh, country is India, and this is the zip code. So just now what we have done, we have entered all the details over here of a registration form in this particular form. Now let's click on submit. And as you click on submit, here you can see that just now we have received a new form submission in Pabbly Form Builder. And because I have added this webhook URL in Pabbly Form Builder, the form responses are automatically sent to this Pabbly Connect webhook URL. And all the data sent to this webhook URL are received inside the trigger step of our automation workflow. So here in the trigger step, you can see that we have received all the responses, all the data of the form submission. Here you can see we have the same zip code, same address, same phone number. Then we have the same last name, first name, email, country, city, and address too. So this means the step 1 of setting up the automation is completed. We have successfully added the webhook URL and captured the webhook response. Now in step 2, we want to send the same responses to Omnisend, and with the same details, we want to create a subscriber over there. For that, we will scroll down, come to this Actions tab, and here in Choose App, we'll search for Omnisend. Just select it. After selecting Omnisend, an action event from the drop-down, select the action event as Create Subscriber and click on Connect. After clicking on Connect, just select Add New Connection, and here we have to connect our Omnisend account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API key of our Omnisend account. Now you must be thinking how you can get this API key. To get it, just log into your Omnisend account. From the right top corner, click on this profile option, and from the drop down, go to Store Settings. After coming to the Store Settings section, from the left sidebar, we'll scroll down and click on this API Keys option. And here you can see the API key of your Omnisend account. Click on this Create API Key button to generate a new API key. Give this API key a name. So let's say I'll name it as Pabbly Connect. And after naming it, what are the permissions you want to basically provide through this API key? You have to select it. So let's say I'll name my API key as Pabbly Connect 1. I want to give the permission to contacts over here. So if you want, you can just unselect all the options, or you can select all the options and generate the API key. And then just click on this Create API Key button. As we click on Create API Key, this API key is generated. Copy the API key from here and paste it over here. After pasting the API key, just click on Save. And as we click on Save here, you can see our Omnisend account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, the first thing it asks us is identifier type. And here in this dropdown, we have two options. Either we can select email as the identifier to identify the unique contacts, new subscribers, or we can use the phone number. And the help text says if we want to use both of the things as an identifier, then we have to turn this mapping button on, and separating it with comma, we have to enter both the things. Like in this way, we have to enter both the options. But right now, we don't want to do that. I just want to use email as the identifier, so I'm selecting email from this dropdown. Then it is asking us for the identifier channel, that by what channel or by what mean, by email or SMS, we are going to contact this particular person. So I want to use email as the identifier channel, so I'm selecting email over here. If you want to use the both of the things, in that case, you can just turn this mapping button on over here and write email as well as SMS as identifier too. But right now, we are just going to use email as identifier. Then it is asking us for the line item email or phone number. So whatever options we have selected over here, we have to enter it. Now, because we are using email as the identifier, I'm just going to click here and we have to enter the email address in this line item field. Now we have received all the details of this subscriber, of this contact from Webhook response in the trigger step. And what we have to do, one by one, we have to send all of these trigger step responses and add them in this Omnisend action step. And to add the trigger step responses in this action step, we are going to use a process called mapping. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field of line item, email or phone number, and here from this drop down, here you can see a list of all the Webhook responses from the trigger step. Out of all of these responses, select the response of email and map it. Now here, because I have selected email in both the options, that's why we are mapping the email address. If you selected phone number or SMS over here, then here you have to enter the mobile number, the phone number of the user. And if you have selected both the option, by turning the mapping button on, if you have entered email comma phone, in that case you have to basically enter the email and phone number, both the things separated by comma like this. And because we are selecting email as the identifier, that's why we have mapped over here the email address. Then it is asking us what will be the status. So I want the status of all of these subscribers as subscribed over here. That's why I'm selecting subscribed over here. Then it is asking us for the status date. Now here we are going to keep this status date as blank because whenever we are going to receive a form submission, on the same date and time, the status date will be automatically added by Omnisend itself. So we can just ignore this field for now. Then it is asking us for the source. So here in source, let's say I want to enter the source as Pabbly Form Builder. If you want, you can basically separate it with comma and add multiple sources over here as well. But right now, I'm adding the source as Pabbly Form Builder. Then it is asking us for the post name. So here we'll just click on this field, and once again using the process of mapping, we are going to select and map the response of first name over here. Then we are going to use the same process of mapping for last name. We don't have a tag, so let's say I'm just going to add a tag as Webhook over here. If you want, you can add any tag as per your choice. Then it is asking us that whether we want to send a welcome email to the subscriber or not. So I don't want to send a welcome email, that's why I'm selecting false. Then it is asking us for the country. So from the drop down, let's select and map the response of country over here. We don't have the country code, so we are just going to keep it blank. We are going to map the response of state as well, but we don't have the state code, so let's keep it blank too. Then here we are going to enter the address over here. So from the drop down, select and map the response of address, and let's map the city too. So in this way, all the details of form submission of the user which we are receiving via Webhook response, one by one we have to map all of these details into their respective fields. After mapping all the details, it is asking us for the gender. We don't have the response of gender, so we are selecting none. And if you want to add some custom properties other than this, in that case, you can basically create the key value pairs over here and enter those details too. Right now, we don't want to add any custom properties or any other information. That's why we can just keep it blank. So after mapping all the details and selecting all the options over here in this Omnisend Actions tab, we just have to click on this Save and Send Test Request button. And as we click on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see we have received the response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped over here, basically the Webhook response which we have received in the Triggers tab, with the same Webhook response, we have created a subscriber in Omnisend. So let's check it. We'll go to Omnisend account, we will just go back to our home page, and then we will go to the audience section. And yes, under audience here you can see that just now a new user, a new subscriber is added in our Omnisend account. The name of the subscriber is demo user. Then after that, if we check the details, here you can see we have the same email address which we have received as a Webhook response, and also the same address of this person. And the opt-in channel is email, the same opt-in channel which we have selected in our Pabbly Connect Actions tab. So this means the automation workflow between Webhook response and Omnisend is working perfectly fine. And using this automation, whenever we are going to capture any Webhook response from any application on the internet, using this automation, we can automatically send that response to Omnisend and create a subscriber over there with the details. Now, after setting up this automation, we are going to test this automation workflow once. For that, in this form which we have created, we are going to make another form submission. This time, the name of the person is test user. This is the email address. Then after that, this is a dummy mobile number which we are entering. Then the address is, for example, B6. City is Delhi. State is also Delhi over here. The country is India. And this is the zip code. So just now what we have done, we have entered the details of another user in this form. Now let's click on submit, and as we click on submit, we have just received a new form submission, and this form responses will be sent as a Webhook response. And whenever we are going to receive any Webhook response to this Webhook URL, this automation workflow will trigger, and using this automation, we are going to send the Webhook response to Omnisend and create a subscriber over there. So let's go to our Omnisend account, and we are going to just refresh this audience page once. And yes, here you can see that instantly within seconds, the same person whose details we have entered while making the form submission is now added as a subscriber in Omnisend. Here you can see we have the same name, same email address, and also the same address. And here you can see we have added the same tag Webhook which we have added in the Pabbly Connect Actions tab of Omnisend. So we have tested this automation in real time, and it is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, you will find the clone link of this exact same automation workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can just clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and start using this automation for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can just do it for absolutely free.
So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, or if you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can always write us in the comment box below or email us at support@pabbly.com. Also, you can post your queries on our forum as well. And if you want to check the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.